In just a few years, 3D printing has gone from a space-age concept to a technology you can use at home.
Well, the actual figure is really solid.
Today I'm in Philadelphia to meet with a company that has a 3D printer that doesn't print plastic toys and stuff. It prints human flesh. Ew.
Welcome to BioBots. They've designed and built what could be the first step to making a synthetic human. A machine that 3D prints human tissue. Danny is the boss.
So what is BioBots?
BioBots builds tools that empower people to design living things. And we're doing it with the goal of eliminating the organ waiting list, curing disease, remediating climate change, and even pushing life to other planets.
So 3D printing for human tissue?
Exactly,
is
yeah.
That right?
That's really our first product is a 3D bioprinter, and it prints three-dimensional living tissues out of human cells.
Well, Danny and his BioBots team certainly don't lack ambition. They design and build their 3D printers in-house and have developed a revolutionary printing process that uses living cells as the ink. The cells are mixed with a biological material that acts as a kind of glue. And after printing, the end result is a man-made human flesh.
So step number one is acquiring the human cells.
Right.
How are those acquired?
They are actually from the foreskin of a patient.
Foreskin.
Yes. So it's a tissue that would normally be thrown away, but they can isolate the cells from them and grow them up, expand them, and that's what a lot of people will use.
We don't actually do any of that work ourselves, and we use those cells as a way to test our materials. But really what we're doing is building a platform for other people to use different cell types, different cells from different sources, to build more useful and different tissues.
All right, so today we're going to be printing an ear, and here you can see sort of a 3D file of what the ear would look like, and if I can sort of drag around and show you that it's actually flat so that it'll lay on the Petri dish nicely.
Usually the printing would take place in a sterile environment so that the human cells don't get spoiled. But as this ear wasn't going to be used, it didn't matter.
And who would be the end user of something like this right now?
Right now it's a lot of research institutions that are kind of using this to test drugs or other types of tissue engineering, but we're hoping that it could also be like pharmaceutical companies or even, your local hospital eventually where they can print you an organ for you right there.
And then, just 25 minutes later, the surprisingly simple-looking process was over.
That's it.
Yeah,
It's
so our
done.
print's done. I
at
can
that
go ahead and pull it out here.
It's like a little baby ear.
Yeah. But from here, what would happen is we would take this and it would incubate, and in that process, we would monitor it over the incubation period to make sure the cells were growing right and to make sure that the cells were getting all the nutrients they needed and they continued to grow at a rate that would sort of cause us to create living tissue.
And keep it living.
Keep it living, yeah, exactly.
Well, you guys heard it here first. You can now create your own body parts if you're not happy with your own right now.
Yep.
But again, lots of medical uses for this.
Definitely,
and
yeah.
the world is your oyster. So much you can do.
Exactly.
I get rough with some of the toughest camcorders on the market. How much torture can they take? Jason and John.
Now it was time to complete my quest. I wanted to see myself in the game as a proper